one of the readers asked a very poignant question, which is they said, what did you leave out? How did you not cover it all? What did you leave out? And I said, I'm going to put it this way. My life in one 24-hour period, and I don't know if it works this way for other people because I don't live other people's lives. I only live my own life. But in my life, the way it works is in one 24-hour period, I can have the experiences of one man's life in a month, maybe even a year. And that's real. I don't know if you've seen my video Ascension Millennium, the lead single for my new album. Sure. But in that video, we did it as one continuous shot. And the video itself is 4 minutes and 40 seconds long. And the whole concept of that video was a day in the life of Corey. That was the concept. Because I really wanted to take the viewer on a journey that never ends, that just keeps moving from the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment I go to bed, and all these different crazy things that can happen within that time frame. And everybody says to me, how did you manage to do it? How did you manage to fit it all in one shot? No cuts, no breaks, consistently running all the way through on this video. How did you pull that off? And the answer is, that's my life.
It just goes, huh?
That's my life. You wake up in the morning, you don't stop until it's time to lay down.
Now that's been your life for as long as you can remember.
That's it.
When does Corey Feldman find time for Corey Feldman?
It's a good question, and I'm willing to find that answer as soon as I've finished my mission. But right now I'm on a mission. Okay. I've got a mission statement, and that statement is that I'm here to tell the truth.
Okay.
I'm here to spread the truth. And until the truth has been heard in every corner of the world, I don't feel that my work is done.
There are things in this book that some people find to be very controversial. There are things in this book that some people find to be offensive. And there are things in this book...
What are those things? I'd like to hear from
you.
Well,
people are saying that some of you are basically pulling back the lid on a problem that has been in Hollywood since the dawn of time. Uh-huh. And these are your words. And I have to say that I did hear you say that you will not name names based on the fact that you did not see it with your own two eyes. And I applaud your ethical fiber for that. Because many people will just say things, the things that you did see. These are the things that you can't talk about.
Right.
And these are the things you're willing to talk about. Correct?
And when it comes to naming names, I did everything that I said I would do. Okay, so let's let that be known as fact for the record. Let's set it in the record now so it can never be wavered. For however many people get to see this interview, however many viewers that you can obtain, and the people that are watching here today, understand, when I delivered the first copy of Choreography to my publisher,
yes,
every story was in there with great detail and with the names pointed out clearly and sufficiently. Now, the fact that the publisher themselves have their own litigation, their own team of lawyers who are there to look out for their best interest, not my best interest, not the best interest of the people in the American public, but for the actual company. That is their job. And they're going to go through there with a fine-tooth comb and they're going to look for any glaring obvious sign that this could get us into hot water. Mm-hmm. So they went ahead and they omitted those names and they changed them around and they did what they do. And, I even read a comment today, somebody who was watching me on the Huffington Post Live interview that said, well, I understand that the publisher is the one that changed the names, not you, but you should have put your foot down and said, by all means, I'm not releasing this book if you insist on changing those names. Now, to me, that statement left me dumbfounded. Are you telling me that you think it was a better idea to leave the secrets, stay secret, to leave the lies unsolved, the truth's never to be revealed, all for the sake of the fact that you might not know the exact name I'm talking about? Well, bottom line is, folks, I've left the clues. I put the pieces into play, and it is now up for the American public to find their way, to find their voice, to dissect the way they want to come to their own conclusions. Let's not turn this into a witch hunt. Let's not make this about, well, maybe it's this guy, maybe it's that guy. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, because at the end of the day, nothing's going to solve anything at this point. I can't sue him. I can't throw him behind bars. There's nothing I can do other than publicly humiliating them, which is great. But you know what? That's putting myself at risk. That's putting my child at risk. It's opening up a whole other can of worms that doesn't have a positive flip side. Now, that said, let's be intelligent about it. With what I have done, we've started the communication. We've opened the doorways to letting this free conversation start to flow. And within that flow, we are now able to dissect and find out exactly what happened in those situations with enough clues, enough points to where people can come forward and say, hey, you know what? The same thing happened to me. I'm going to bet you're talking about this person because they happened to refer to you, which happened, by the way, last night at the Strand. A woman who used to be a man came to me and showed me a picture of her 15-year-old self and said, this was me in Hollywood when I first arrived there. Your predators used your name in convincing me to do the same.
Wow.
And I know exactly who you're talking about. And she named the names to me. And I said, well, that's it. You hit it right on the head. And she said, so I know who you're talking about. I've got the same information. And I've got no problem throwing myself under the bus.